Pregame.com.
Hi, welcome to Pregame TV. It's the Tuesday group. This is Bryan Leonard with my friend Vegas Runner. We're missing one of our sidekicks here.
He's with, word is he's in meetings right now with Seelig over the color of those rosin bags they're going to throw. By the All-Star break, Fezzik guarantees that they'll have a vote on it.
Wouldn't that be something?
He's there right now.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, that video is still up on the side of Pregame TV. We're going to start off and talk a little bit of hockey. Now, if you've been watching these videos, you know I don't know a thing about hockey, but because good old Steve decided to take a little bit of a vacation here, we've got to talk hockey with Bryan Leonard.
How could we not?
Well, the one thing I do know, and being from Cleveland, we didn't have a hockey team, but I always rooted for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Down 0-2 in this series. What's going to happen here?
Yeah, and here's the thing. We knew from the series with the New York Islanders that Pittsburgh was going to have problems keeping the puck out of their own net. I mean, they switched goalies halfway through that series. So they knew they were going to have to really outscore the opposition. Obviously, you have to outscore the opposition to win games in any sport, but they really were going to have to put some pucks in the net is what they knew going in. Unfortunately for them, they're going up against one of the hottest goaltenders right now in Rask. I mean, here's a guy over the last 4 games who's saved almost 95% of all shots coming his way. And in the playoffs, he's 93.5% save percentage. It doesn't get better than that. So hockey's that one sport where one player in a team sport could single-handedly take a team not only to the Stanley Cup, but win it. If they get so hot, I mean, we've seen it in years past where some goalies have been so dominant you just can't score on them. L.A. Kings with Quick last year. This season, he's getting lit up so far against Chicago, and they're not winning games. When you look at this matchup, Boston did what few thought they were going to do. I didn't think so. Leave Pittsburgh up 2-0. I thought they'd get a split. I had Boston in Game 2, but I thought Pittsburgh would come out and win Game 1. I watched both those games. Here's the thing. Boston's doing a good job. I thought the difference maker was going to be Pittsburgh was just going to pile so many shots at Rask that they were going to overwhelm them. And the Boston defense is just not allowing that to happen. It's kind of like the opposite. Instead, they're putting the pressure on Bo Kuhn. And I don't see how Pittsburgh could really turn that around. If you look at historical probability, usually teams that are up 2-0 in the series like this in the semifinals, when they go back home, they're a little better than a coin flip in Game 3. They're only 9-7. I thought they would be a lot higher than that.
I was surprised by the line in this, and then I went back and I looked. If you look at both these teams, they perform very well on the road
Exactly.
this year. Pittsburgh, I think, is more of a finesse team. I think that's what the matchup here just doesn't work as well for them. But if I'm not mistaken, I think the last 5 times Pittsburgh went into Boston,
they won
all 5 times.
Yep. Yes, they have. And that's because of that. They're a confident team. Not only did they win on the road throughout the entire season, but they're 18-6 there. So, I mean, this team could win on the road, but they've also won in Boston, one of the toughest places to win. So I don't think they're out of it mentally, but I don't really see too much they're going to be able to do to really turn this around. And with Rask being as hot as he is, and now you have more or less the backup goalie for Pittsburgh. So what do you do now? Do you go back to the starter that you already benched? It's just not a good situation for them. And I said last week's video that defense wins in the playoffs for all sports. But I thought the firepower of Pittsburgh was just so good that they were going to be able to be that one team that does it like the New England Patriots, the Green Bay Packers, by outscoring the opposition, and they just haven't been able to do it.
You know, the last series, they were putting up, 6 and 7 goals?
Exactly.
You thought the offense was going to continue, but, well, we've already talked this out enough.
Jackpot.
That's good. Unfortunately, I don't hear that sound enough when I'm in the casino. But we've talked this out enough. Let's go back and let's make this official.
Boston wins championships, and so far they've proven that in this playoff series. Up 2-0, going back for Game 3. Historically, teams in this spot only 9-7 in Game 3, but they are 15-1 for the series, so it doesn't look good for Pittsburgh. Personally, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to back Boston in Game 3 to go up 3-0. I just don't see how Pittsburgh is going to be able to apply enough pressure on Rask as hot as he's been. You're looking at a Boston team that's second in shots on goal offensively. So they're really getting the puck to the net, and Vokun's just hasn't been able to stop it. 89.6 save percentage his last 4 games. Not going to get it done. Go ahead, lay the small price with Boston. I think the betting public's not giving up on Pittsburgh. They love offensive teams like that, but I think they're just going to keep going down with this shit. Boston will advance. Look for them to be in the Stanley Cup Finals facing the Chicago Blackhawks.
All right, this is the first video for the Tuesday crew, minus Steve Fezzik, the guy with the big head and lots of hair. We can talk about him since he's not here, and I'm sure these guys do it when I'm not here. We're going to go back. We're going to talk some baseball in a second. A couple of big games, you know, the Bryan Leonard specials. We'll be right back.
Yeah, we do. Huge.